season got cut short last year, and but the gymnasts have continued to train all year and all season long. They are excited to be back out here today, and we're getting this competition started.
Here's Cammie Klein.
She starts that lineup with the Yurchenko full twist, stuck her landing, and that was a great leadoff vault.
Yeah, great vault by Cammie Klein. That lineup for Kent State on the vault is Klein, DeCavich, Rachel DeCavich, Abby Fletcher, Carly Franz, Olivia Amade, Sydney Chapman, and Kennedy Weinberg. This is Ronnie Binstock on the bars for the Broncos.
Ronnie did a blind change into a straddle back handstand. She's back up to the high bar, 2 giants. Full in, back out, dismount. A little step backwards on her landing, but a good start.
Well, on paper, this looks like a bite your fingernail kind of matchup between these two programs. Very close in overall team scores and where they're sitting at both in the Mid-American Conference. 9.825 looks like the score for Cammie Klein. Great start for the Golden Flashes on vault.
It sure is. It's an event where they're trying to really focus in on their landings, be aggressive, show lots of height in the air, and stick those landings.
Here's Rachel DeCavich now for Kent State.
She also does Yurchenko full twist. She started to really try to squeeze those toes and stick that landing. Her chest was a little bit low on her finish, but another good vault.
Danny Pertusek next up on the bars for Western Michigan. Head coaches for these two programs, of course, Kent State, led by Bryce Biggin, and his assistant coaches Craig Ballard and Sharon Sabin. Penny Jernigan, the head coach of the Broncos, assisted by Al Sharns. Fun fact about Coach Jernigan of Western Michigan, she boasts the honor of having coached the only 3 UNC gymnasts to ever earn perfect scores of 10.0. Bumpers and Anna Wilson on floor, that goes back to 2003, and Brooke Wilson on beam in 2001. Shannon knows a thing or two about a perfect 10 on the beam.
The coveted score, you're always training your whole life to try to get that perfect 10. Lots of things have to come together and make that happen.
Ronnie Binstock with a 9.725 on the bars for the Broncos. Again, this is Danny Petrusek.
Danny does a toe to hand on the high bar, shoot over to the low bar, nice handstand. Giant full twist, double back pike. Took 3 steps back on her landing there.
Abby Fletcher, we've mentioned, having a tremendous senior year. Here she is on vault.
So powerful. Yurchenko full twist, little step back.
Couple of gymnasts for the Broncos to watch over on the bars is Alexis Olivier and Stacy Harrison, averaging about 9.825, the two of them on the bars for Kent State. On vault, of course, Abby Fletcher. And boy, we're really missing Kendall Gilbert as she's continues to recover from that injury from the floor exercise here at the Mack Center just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, she had an injury that put her in a boot, and she is on the sidelines cheering for her teammates, but it's going to be a season-ending injury for her. She's going to work hard in rehab, and she is a powerful addition to this team, so especially on vault and floor, it's great to get her in the lineup, so she'll be working hard to get back.
Next up for the Broncos on the bars is Peyton Murphy, the sophomore. Peyton leads the Mid-American Conference in average score in the all-around. It'll be an interesting matchup, and Rachel DeCavich and Peyton Murphy this afternoon. Looks like they're working on the support structure, it looks like, over there on the bars. Peyton Murphy coming off an injury last year and has come out of the gate with some incredible scores. Great courage from the young sophomore of the Broncos to come back. Here she is on bars.
She mounts to the high bar and switches to her grip and does a giant, front giant, right into a release move. Back to a handstand. She's going to shoot over to the low bar. Nice handstand there. Back to the high bar. Blind change. 1.5 twists. The coach had to catch her there a little bit on the landing, so there's going to be a deduction for her helping her out there at the end.
Back to vault. Carly Franz.
Nice Yurchenko full twist from Carly. That was the vault she was looking for.
Yeah, great amplitude, Shannon, on that vault from Carly.
She really pushes off the table, gets a lot of height in the air. She has a little more time to see that landing and work on sticking that landing.
Sarah Moravanski will be next for the Broncos. Peyton Murphy, who we just saw on the bars, is averaging 9.763 on the year. Her high was 9.8. She's currently ranked 7th in the Mid-American Conference with that score. We saw Abby Fletcher earlier on vault. She's currently 4th in the Mid-American Conference, averaging a 9.781 on vault with a season high of 9.85. As the judges continue to work over there on the score of Peyton Murphy's performance on the bars. Yeah, with the coach catching her on that dismount, you would imagine that it's going to be slightly lower, perhaps in that average of 9. If I get the numbers right. 9.763, yes.
She looks like she lost a little bit of momentum, and I think he was just reaching in there just to be sure. She probably didn't quite need that, but you always want to make sure that the gymnast is safe.
Well, she did appear as though she was landing with the chest down, and maybe that's perhaps what he saw, and in fact, it's a 9.275 for Peyton Murphy.
We're watching Sarah do a blind change right into her release move, down to the low bar. Cast a handstand on the high bar. 2 giants gaining some momentum for a double layout dismount. Stuck landing. That was a nice bar routine for Western Michigan.
Yeah, Sarah, just a freshman out of Mount Airy, Maryland. Here's Olivia Almaday.
Olivia with a Yurchenko full twist again. She took a hop back on her landing, but that's because she had lots of power on that vault.
Golden Flash's season high as a team score on vault was 48.9. That has occurred twice this year, the opening meet against Bowling Green and the final home meet here against the Eagles of Eastern Michigan, 48.9. Looking to best that today.
Yes, Olivia just scored a 9.75, so their lineup on vault's looking great. We're going to get ready to watch Sydney Chapman for the last vault of the lineup.
Alexis Olivier up next on the bars, the senior out of Huntersville, North Carolina.
Alexis bounced straight to the high bar, cast to a handstand, clear hip. Right into a beautiful ginger, nice catch. She's going to cast to a handstand and shoot over to the low bar. Back up to the high bar, get ready to blind change, giant full into a double back tuck. One little step on her landing, but that was a nice routine.
Alexa's season high is a 9.825. That occurred at Central Michigan. I beg your pardon, that was home against Central Michigan back on January 31st. Here's Sydney Chapman.
Yurchenko full twist, big step back, but that was, I would say, one of the best Kent State lineups that they've had this year on the vault.
Golden Flash is feeling pretty good about how this one has started this afternoon. And again, one of those rare mid-afternoon meets on a weeknight. Only action again in the Mid-American Conference on the gymnastics circuit.
Yeah, I think they're going to enjoy this one because they're going to have a couple days rest and then come right back at it on Sunday for another competition. So they do have 2 in 1 week, but there's a few days in between there to rest and recover and get ready for the next one.
9.85 was Alexis Olivier. This will be Stacy Harrison.
Stacy mounts over the low bar, up to the high bar. Giant blind change, right into her release move, right into a shoot over. So those 3 elements connected give her lots of bonus. Back to the high bar, 2 strong giants, lots of power, laid in, pulling back out, dismount.
Stacy's season high is 9.825. Go right back over the vault. Kent State, Kennedy Weinpert.
Kennedy's Yurchenko full was in a tuck position, so she tucked her knees a little bit, but she had a great landing, good height off the table. And that completes the Golden Flashes on the vault lineup.
I believe we have one more over, perhaps 2 more actually, on the bars for Western Michigan. This will be Charlotte Tishkoff. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was a really good look for Kent State on the vault. A great way to start this meet. Kent State performing extremely well last weekend, but falling up short despite the season high team score. That just tells you how good the competition is in the MAC.
Yeah, that was the heartbreaker. It was down to the last event, and they missed that win by .175. So that's a little wobble here or a little step there. Doesn't take much to walk away from a away competition where they were so close to winning.
Charlotte Tishkoff now on the bars.
Charlotte starts her routine on the low bar with a toe to hand, right into her release move, up to the high bar. Cast to handstand, another toe to hand on the high bar. Shoot over back to the low bar, nice handstand there.
Charlotte, one of 6 sophomores. She's from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Giant double layout dismount, took 2 steps on her landing there, a little bit forward.
And it looks like we will have, Shannon, one more exhibition, if you will, on the bars. Brecken looks like Brecken Kuss.
Yeah, so each team's allowed 6 athletes in their lineup, and those top 5 scores will count. And then they're allowed to have a few exhibition routines. So this shows the depth of this Western Michigan's team. They've got 7 good routines that are able to compete, and the girls that are in exhibition are looking to make that lineup.
Brecken, a freshman out of Ada, Michigan. Again, this is a squad that's got 6 sophomores and 3 freshmen. Head coach Penny Jernigan of the Broncos in her 8th season, a graduate of Campbell University. And she was named the 2020 Mid-American Conference Coach of the Year following the Broncos being named the Mid-American Conference champions.
Brecken mounts to the high bar. She does a Tkachev for her release move. Cast a handstand. Pirouette right into a shoot over to handstand on the low bar. Giant blind change into a double back.
That'll wrap up the first rotation of competition here this afternoon between the Golden Flashes and the Broncos of Western Michigan. Shannon and I will step aside for just a few minutes. Cameras will stay here on the Mac Center, and we'll be back with the stats after the first rotation and all of the action in rotation number 2. We'll be right back.
Ronnie starts Western Michigan off with the Yurchenko full twist. He was laid out. Nice landing there.
Olivia Amade, best score on the bars this season was a 9.775. That occurred in the opening meet against Bowling Green.
Olivia mounts to the high bar with a giant full right into a Tkachev. Shoot over, nice handstand on the low bar. Cast a handstand. Giant full. Oh, she got a little bit loose in her arms, and she's going to stay on the bar, but she's going to have to take an extra swing, breaking that connection. And she's going to take a fall. She tried to do that giant full twist again without coming off the bar. And she salutes to those judges, so she's finished with that routine.
I'll bring up Josephine Thomas for the Broncos over here on vault.
Josephine Yurchenko full. Nice vault. Good landing.
Now the Golden Flashes now will look to Madison Trott to pick up Olivia on that bar routine.
Yeah, they still have 5 girls left in this lineup, so they're going to look to those next 5 routines to count as the scores for today.
Madison has competed on bars 4 times this season. Season high of 9.75. That occurred twice, once against Pittsburgh and again last weekend against Eastern Michigan. It appears, Shannon, they've not yet flashed the score for Olivia's bar routine.
Yes, but Ronnie Binstock scored 9.825 on that vault we saw. So they had a good score going into this second rotation.
Now the judges will have a conference. Judges on the bars is Jane Drees and Lisa Howland. Over on the vault, it's Barb Galivo and Kathleen McIntyre. So Jane Dross and Lisa Howland having a discussion on their scores. Shannon, driving into the Mac Center today, I pulled into the parking lot, and there are actually cars there today.
It was a little more lively. The students are back on campus. Yes, it was a ghost town a few weeks back when we were here for some of those other competitions, and it's good to have some students, a little bit more normalcy, I'm sure, for this team that's been here training.
This meet had some momentum to it, and certainly has come to a screeching halt as the judges continue to discuss Olivia Amade's performance over on the bars for Kent State.
Yes, even though that's a score that Kent's going to want to be able to throw out, they still have to come to an agreement with a starting value and a score for what she did finish. Looks like they've worked it out, getting ready to resume.
Tough for a gymnast when you get there on that mat and then you've got that long delay. Mentally, you've got to just stay focused on what you've got to do on that bar.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4 minutes can sometimes feel like eternity when you're already ready to go and chalked up, and just got to be patient. Sometimes you have an extra minute to go through your routine mentally in your head, and you can stay focused and stay right in the moment. So we hope to see that from Madison. Madison mounts right to the high bar, does a giant blind change right into a beautiful release move. She had lots of height today. Great shoot over, back up to the high bar. Nice handstand. 2 strong giants into a big double layout dismount, but opened up a little bit early, had to put down her knees and her hands.
Here's Stacy Harrison now on vault for the Broncos. Yeah, that was a great routine other than that falling forward on that landing.
Yuchenko full twist, 1 step back.
Maddie Iannuso will be next for Kent State over on the bars. Maddie recorded a personal best this year twice. A 9.825, that occurring both against Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, they saw lots of Eastern Michigan this year so far. 3 meets in a row.
It's like a 9.8 for Harrison on vault. You know, while we're waiting here for the scores to come from the judges for Madison Trott's performance, you look at this Kent State squad overall, there's so much talent here. And listening to what you said just a few minutes ago about Coach Bryce Biggin saying that 196 is that coveted mark. When this squad gets all their routines down and they hit them all solidly, this is this is one of the toughest teams in the MAC to really compete against.
They certainly are capable of that. You see that both in their difficulty and their depth. So they've got lots of gymnasts that have 10-0 start values on every event. And they just need to hit these routines, hit these big skills. And there's a nice Tkachev for Maddie. She's going to get ready to go down to the low bar, toe to hand, shoot over to handstand on the low bar, another toe to hand. Now she's just got to finish it up. Cast a handstand on the high bar. Building some momentum on her giants. Double layout dismount, and there's a good landing. That's the routine that they need. So now those last few girls in the lineup have to continue to build that momentum that she just created.
This is Sarah Moravonsky.
Sarah does that Yurchenko full twist as well. One step back on her landing. They've had a lot of consistent vaults over here for Western Michigan, though.
I'll bring up Jade Brown over on the bars for the Golden Flashes. And this Broncos team has been a squad that has really leveled out in terms of their consistency on the vault. Last 2 weeks, they've had a team score of 48.85, and it appears as though they're well on their way to that or better.
Going to have another judges discussion on the bars.
Coach Bryce Biggin with his hands on his hips.
He's anxious to get going. Although I'm sure he's happy to have Jade back in this bar lineup. She's a returning graduate, so she's a graduate student, and she's been able to come back for another year of eligibility to finish up her gymnastics career and didn't have to end that senior season during COVID last year.
Well, for all of my baseball fans out there, as we wait for the judges to come to a consensus, spring training has begun. Pitchers and catchers, I believe, reported yesterday, which is a great sign that spring is around the corner. And here in Northeast Ohio, it couldn't come a day sooner.
Is there anywhere warm enough to do that?
Right when you look at the weather maps, the entire country's under a blanket of snow. Or ice.
Or ice, yes.
Looks like the judges over at the bars have come to a consensus. Couple of golden flashes. Coach Bryce Biggin clapping his hands. We'll wait to see what the score is. Here's Jade Brown.
She jumps straight to the high bar, cast a handstand. Clear hip. She's got nice, beautiful handstands. Huge Tkachev. That was a great release move. She switches her grip, does a front giant, right into a shoot over. Back up to the high bar, casts a handstand. She's so powerful. Two giants, double layout dismount. That is definitely a stuck landing.
That's what we needed out of Jade Brown, the fifth-year senior for the Golden Flashes, or a grad student, I beg your pardon. That was a 9.825 for Maddie Iannuso, so a great score.
Wow, laid out Yurchenko full twist, stuck landing for Peyton Murphy on the vault.
.985 or better would be my guess on Jade Brown over on the bars.
I think with Maddie's great score, that's a possibility, yes.
Rachel DeCavich will be next for Kent State. And Rachel, then Sarah Haxton. Rachel's season high is a 9.875. The Golden Flashes are getting excited over there as they see the preliminary scores from both judges.
Western Michigan's excited on the vault. They've got a 9.875 for Peyton Murphy, too.
9-9.
Great score.
Rachel's last outing recorded a 9.8 on bars. Boy, watching Jade Brown is just so much fun.
That's fun. She's so tiny but so powerful.
And another powerful gymnast in Rachel DeCavich.
Yes, Rachel just did that pack salto, really difficult move right in between the bars. Up to the high bar. Nice handstand. She's going to do 2 giants to get some power into that double layout dismount. Little step on her landing. Another good routine for Kent State.
Yeah, great pick-me-up again by Rachel, the sophomore. We'll turn our attention back over to the vault. This is Carissa Ludwig.
Carissa does a Yurchenko half with a little step forward on her landing. So just a half twist, which is actually harder to land because she can't see the floor before her feet land on it.
Western looking very good on the vault thus far. Perhaps make up that difference following the first rotation. We'll see what the judges come up with. Rachel DeCavich's score. As next will be Sarah Haxton for the Golden Flashes. Some hand clapping going along. Yeah, the level of difficulty that Rachel has certainly helps that starting value. 9.85, great score.
Sarah mounts straight to the high bar, casts a handstand, giant blind change right into her release move. Nice catch into a shoot over. Beautiful form and toe point. She's got a nice handstand, 2 strong giants into a beautiful double layout dismount. Wow, she is new to the bar lineup, and that was phenomenal. Bryce told me that when she is on, and today she was on.
Bryce actually pulled out the Craig Ballard double fist. Well, that's a great routine by Sarah. Another great vault here by the Broncos, who have been solid.
Another Yurchenko full twist for Western Michigan.
That was Danny Petrusak. And for Kent State, Carly Franz will be next. And yeah, Kent State starting off with the 2 routines by Olivia Amade and Madison Trott. Didn't go as we wanted. We'll see where they fall. No pun intended there.
Yes, they're going to have to count a fall.
Yep, they got to count one. Well, that 9.9 was huge by Jade Brown.
.985 for Sarah Haxton.
Western Michigan will work their way over here to the balance beam in just a moment, after we take a look at Carly Franz on bars.
Carly mounts to the high bar, does a clear hip, right into a ginger, right into a shoot over. That's some of the bonus points that she needs to get that 10-0 start value. Back up to a nice handstand. 2 giants. She's got a big double layout dismount. Nice landing. That was a great routine for Carly too.
Well, that'll wrap up rotation number 2 here this afternoon. This Mid-American Conference matchup. And after 2 rotations, Western Michigan with a team score of 97.975. The Golden Flashes with a team score of 97.475. Samantha Henry with a season best 9.8, that occurring twice this season.
Yeah, she's very consistent in this leadoff position. Her tumbling and her dance are both really gorgeous, and they know they can count on her to start this team off right. Beautiful back handspring layout step out, not even a wobble.
Actually, the 9.835 would be her season high, but you're right in terms of consistency. She's been around 9.8, 9.83 the entire season.
We jump into a split 3/4. Hitch kick into a gainer full twist, stuck landing. That was a great leadoff routine for Kent State.
Sarah Moravanski will get things started off for the Broncos on the floor exercise. Again, just a freshman out of Mount Airy, Maryland.
Sarah's first tumbling pass is a big double back pike. Comes back with a double back tuck for her second tumbling pass. She finishes with a punch front layout to a punch front full.
We'll have a discussion over here on the balance beam as the judges will meet and discuss the scores from Samantha Henry. That was a short discussion. And the judges on the beam is Barb
Jalivo.
Jalivo,
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
And Lisa Howland.
It's like a 9.7 for Sam Henry.
I think the one judge had a different starting value.
Yeah, and they have to agree upon that because if by chance somebody missed a connection or bonus, they need to make sure that they're on the same page with the start value.
This is Riley Danielson.
Riley does a back handspring layout, step out, a little bit step back there, but she had a good save. Beautiful full turn. She's got a gorgeous toe point. Nice lines on the beam.
Season high was last weekend at Eastern Michigan.
Front semi right into a split jump.
Riley working her way back into the beam routine.
Two switch leg leaps in a row. Riley has a unique dismount. She does a back handspring layout, step out, right into a full twist, stuck landing. Very nice routine for Riley.
Nicely done. Just the one little step back. The only flaw that I really saw in that routine by Riley.
Yeah, she still looked aggressive. She had great leaps and jumps and turns, and I think that just a little more confidence will build each week as she continues to compete for Kent State.
Here's Danny Petrusak.
Danny opens with a nice double back tuck. Front handspring, punch front full, right into a front layout. Another 9-7 for Riley Danielson. Enough back handspring, double back pike, 2 steps back. She had lots of power for that last pass.
Yeah, she had great height on that. So bring up Sarah Haxton now for Kent State over here on the balance beam. Sarah with a personal best 9.725 2 weeks ago at Eastern.
Boot jump into a kick flip. Back handspring layout, step out. That was gorgeous. She looks confident up there today. Switch leg leap right into a back tuck. Good combination of dance and tumbling. Full turn. Split jump, split 3/4. Just a dismount left. Punch front full, stack landing. That's her best of the year.
Yeah, that was a tremendous effort. Tremendous effort by Sarah Haxton. This is Stacy Harrison for Western on the floor.
Nice double back tuck. Punch front layout to a front full. 9.85 for Sarah Haxton on the balance beam. Last pass, big double back pike.
Yeah, Sarah Haxton had a 9.9 and a 9.8. Coach Craig Ballard, I thought, was anticipating something a little bit more, maybe in the realms of 9.9, 9.95. Nonetheless, that brings up Rachel DeCavich.
Yes, Rachel's got this beautiful one-arm planche mount.
Rachel's season high on the beam is 9.8. That occurred at Pittsburgh.
Great lead pass to start off her routine.
Not a wobble there. Nicely done.
Back handspring layout step out. Oh, she dropped that shoulder off to the side. We saw that earlier in the season where she has beautiful height, lots of amplitude, and just came off the side of the beam. She continues to be aggressive up there, though. Back handspring gainer, full twist off the side. Finished it up.
This is Ronnie Binstock.
Front handspring, front 1.5, front full. Great tumbling there. Beautiful split leaps. Finishes with a round-up back handspring, double back pike.
(9.275) is the score for Rachel DeCavich. Bring up Cammie Klein. Cammie with a personal record of 9.85. That against Pittsburgh earlier this year. Recorded 9.75 last week at Eastern.
Cammie does a back handspring layout, step out for a tumbling pass. Switch leg leap right into a straddle 3/4. And a side aerial combination. And a hitch kick, gainer full twist for her dismount.
Peyton Murphy, the leader in the all-around in the Mid-American Conference, up on the floor now for Western Michigan.
Peyton's first pass is a front tuck right to a double back. Punch front 1.5 to a straddle jump. She looks like she's having fun out there. Switch ring. Nice lead pass. And a round off double back pike. It's unusual not to see a back handspring in there, but she generates enough power just from the round off for a big last tumbling pass.
Abby Fletcher record 2 9.9s this year.
She's very consistent on this event. Some of that experience that comes with being an upperclassman and a leader, she really shows. It was a gorgeous front aerial she just did. Back handspring, layout, step out. That one just floats up in the air. Big switch side lead. Nice full turn today. She does an inward full turn, which is the opposite of most of the gymnasts. Front aerial, front full, stuck landing. She had to fight for it, but that was a beautiful, aggressive routine for Abby Fletcher.
The last time we saw her compete, it was very similar. So we're going to think about a 9.9 on that routine.
It's hard to find deductions when she's got all that height and amplitude, and she just keeps moving back and forth throughout every element.
This is Carissa Ludwig for the Broncos.
Front tuck, round off double back. Close guess, Mike. 9.875 for Abby.
I must have missed one of those deductions that the judges saw. I must have looked away for a quick second. Still a good score for Abby Fletcher, 9.875. So Carissa Ludwig, the junior out of Clarkston, Michigan, wraps up rotation number 3 for the Broncos. This will bring up Jackie Harker for the Golden Flashes over on beam.
Nice front salto into a back handspring. Tumbling in 2 directions. Front salto right into a scale. It's really hard to land that element on one leg. Switch leg leap into a nice side jump. Jack does a gainer back pike off the end, stuck landing. That was an exhibition routine, but that's going to be a good score.
And that wraps up 3 rotations of competition here at the Mac Center this afternoon. We'll be right back with all the numbers after rotation number 3 and all the action in the final rotation. Kent State moving over to the floor. Western Michigan to the beam. We'll be right back.
All right, does the back handspring layout step out for her tumbling pass? A little wobble there at the end. Finishes with a round off 1.5 twist, stuck landing.
Here's Olivia Amade into the lineup. Recorded the 9.825 against Eastern last weekend.
Olivia opens with a punch front layout right into a Rudy, which is a 1.5 twist. Great leap pass. Double back tuck. Good leadoff routine for Kent State.
This is Josephine Thomas, the sophomore out of Adamstown, Maryland.
She's a back handspring layout, step out. Front aerial.
So Olivia Amade, the sophomore out of Detroit for Kent State, with a 9.8 on the floor exercise.
Great leadoff score. Side aerial, full twist dismount, stuck landing.
Got to bring up Tashi Richard for the Golden Flashes. Tashi with 2 9.875s. Both at Eastern, actually one here, the other one at Eastern Michigan.
First tumbling pass. Front handspring, 1.5. Layout step out.
Again, Tashi, a senior out of nearby Cleveland Heights. Having fun on the floor right now. She enjoys this, as do all the gymnasts.
It's one of several of the gymnasts from Gymnastics World up in Brecksville. Got a great routine going so far, getting ready for her last tumbling pass, which is incredibly difficult. Front handspring, front double full. That was fantastic. Great routine for Tashi.
Assistant coach Craig Ballard with a double fist above the head this time. Sarah Moravanski now over on the balance beam for Western. Moravanski, again, freshman out of Mount Airy, Maryland.
Aggressive with the back handspring, layout step out for her tumbling.
Moravanski competed in the all-around this afternoon.
Side aerial. Switch leg leap into a back handspring layout, or layout step out. Difficult combination that was. And a back handspring, 1.5 twist. She did take a step back on her landing, but that was a beautiful routine. Lots of difficulty in there.
Rachel DeCavich now on the floor exercise for Kent State. Rachel with a season high of 9.875, that occurring against Eastern Michigan right here at the Mack Center a few weeks ago.
We just saw the score for Tashi, 9.9.
Great start for Kent State on floor. Rachel, another product of Gymnastics World.
She starts this routine with an Arabian double front. Took a step there out of bounds. It's an automatic 1/10 deduction, but that is the hardest element you can do in gymnastics, an E-level skill. Just getting ready for her last tumbling pass. Punch front, round off back handspring, double back. Good landing. So even though she was over-rotated a little bit on her first pass, she's going to have a high start value, and it'll still be a good score.
Here is Charlotte Tishkoff over on the beam. Tishkoff, the sophomore out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Season high of 9.875.
Back handspring layout, step out.
That occurred in that quad meet that involved Kent State and Eastern.
Side aerial. aerial full for her dismount.
Looks like it's going to be a 9.65, Shannon, for Rachel DeCavich.
They have to take an automatic 1/10 deduction when she goes over the white line of the floor, so that hurts her overall score.
Well, the FAR judges across the floor, she's tallying up her numbers. I wonder if she's going to make a change. They haven't flashed the official score yet. So Carly Franz would be next for Kent State. Carly with a season high 9.875 occurring in the second week of the season at Pittsburgh. .9.875 on that beam routine for Charlotte Tishkoff of Western.
Carly's Arabian double front, incredibly difficult, and she sticks that landing today. One tumbling pass to go. Punch Rudy right into a layout.
So the DeCavich score was a 9.55.
They took that extra 10th for the out of bounds.
This is Peyton Murphy now on the balance beam. Murphy, the sophomore out of St. Charles, Illinois.
Back handspring, layout, step out. She's really solid up there today.
Peyton consistent all season long on the balance beam.
Side aerial, full twist dismount, stuck landing. That's going to be a nice score.
Season best of 9.9 for Peyton. That occurred twice this season. Here's Jade Brown over on floor for Kent State.
Carly's score was at 9.9, so Jade's going to follow that up. Huge first tumbling pass, big double back.
It's a new season high for Carly, 9.9.
Punch front layout, right into a Rudy, 1.5 twist. Last tumbling pass. Double back tuck.
Wow.
Stuck landing. Beautiful routine.
Jade Brown, highest recorded score on the floor this season, 9.875 here at home against Eastern Michigan. I think she may have bested that one right there.
Western Michigan's cheering for Peyton Murphy's score on the balance beam at 9.9.
Yeah, that would be Peyton's third 9.9 score on the beam this season. This is Ariana Mamelka.
Back handspring, layout, step out.
Ariana, the sophomore out of Clinton Township, Michigan.
Just kick into a side aerial. Dropped her left shoulder, a little wobble there, but she fought to stay on the balance beam. Gainer full twist off the end of the beam.
Fletcher with a season high 9.925 against Eastern last weekend. Boy, she's having just a phenomenal senior season, as we talked about as we started tonight's broadcast with you.
She is. She's so consistent, such a leader, and that's why she's the anchor of this floor team. Opens with a round-up back handspring, double layout.
Fantastic.
Excellent. Last pass, round off 1.5, punch front full, great landing. She's done it again. Awesome.
Jade Brown with a 9.925, Shannon.
Not much deduction in that routine, that's for sure. They're really getting dialed in this floor lineup at Kent State. Just working on all the little details, every half a tenth here and there.
As we await the score for Abby Fletcher's floor exercise. See one judge with a 9.9, it appears.
Pair of those, 9-9. handspring layout, step out. Side aerial combination. Aerial full twist dismount. Low chest on her landing, but stayed up on that beam on that routine.
It'll be Kennedy Weinpert now on the floor for Kent. Kennedy, the freshman out of Mentor.
Kennedy's a great example of the depth of this floor lineup. Lots of difficulty in this Kent State tumbling team. Opens with a round back handspring, double back pike. Front handspring, punch front full into a front layout. Last tumbling pass. Out of back handspring, double back tuck.
So I believe Kent State they have Mattis and Trot, I believe, in an exhibition.
Yes, one more routine.
Kent State setting a season high on floor exercise as a team, 49.425. Previous was 49.325, that occurring last week at Eastern. So to your point, Shannon, they certainly have the floor exercise down, and they just keep getting stronger week in and week out.
Yes, and they had a great beam day, great vault lineup today. So, you know, a little mistake on the bars is really in a full day of competition, not too much.
Yeah, and let's not take credit away from Western Michigan. Very well-skilled team.
I was very impressed. Lots of depth, and especially for such a young team, a lot of difficulty, but a lot of confidence in that team. Round off 2.5 and then a punch front. Front handspring, 1.5. Good finish.
Well, that wraps things up here at the Max Center. Let's go through the numbers.